natural. As you can see here, we have quite a number of USD available. It's going to be a 550 USD prize pool. Not a bad amount of cash here for these players. And we are here in the midst of the group stage. Group A, to be specific. We do have Uthermal advancing on to the upper bracket, or the upper round. This is a GSL format group stage, so we do have Uthermal advancing on into the winner's match. Meanwhile, Baby Marine is waiting in the elimination match for the loser of this series. So Baby Marine, we're going to be featuring more of him in the next round. For now, though, we're looking to find out who faces off against Uthermal. As sporting in the top left-hand corner of Ghost River, we have our Polish Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Storm Gaming. It is Gerald. And sporting in the top right-hand corner, we have the Swedish Zerg player, the Yellow Zerg, representing Team Roddy. It is Fjant. And if you're in the chats, we will have a link to the bracket. I apologize, but there we go. I will quickly update the bracket itself. And likewise, if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets, baby, place your bets. As predictions are now open, get your gamba going. Who do you think will advance on into the winner's match? Up to you to decide. Predictions are open for 2 minutes upon hearing this message, so best of luck in the chat as I very quickly try to update the bracket link. There we go. Okay, link has been updated, and now we can settle into our game. It is going to be a hatch gas pool standard opener here at a Fjant. Very standard. Is Forsec the unnatural natural. Meanwhile, Geralt across the map going for a gate expand. Everything is looking normal. We just had a very chaotic TBT between Uthermal and Baby Marine. But now we're calming things down. We're calming things down and settling into our PvZ. Whew. Catching up. A linguistic clusterfuck is a scientific term. Oh no. Try saying other orders gather gutter water. Oh my god, quickly. I'm good. Ay, ay, ay. Look, we're already how many hours into the cast? We're already 4 hours into the cast. I don't need my brain to melt right now. But a shout out to Grizzly in the chat, an old school community figure. Grizzly, of course, back in the day, used to be very active in the online amateur tournament scene. Used to be a very active streamer. Used to cast in Spanish as well. I remember used to cast with Mabels or with Karen back in the day, casting events like Copa Hyperion, if I remember correctly, for Alpha X. The good old days. The good old days. Great to see you again. Great to see you. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Ojalá que todo te va bien. Hope that everything is going well for you. As for now, we do have our tech of choice. Interesting. Twilight Council opener out of Gerald. It is scouted. It is spotted. Fjant is fully aware of what's going on, is aware of the tech of choice. From here, we can go into Glaives. We can go into a Dark Shrine. Robo has been thrown down. And we'll see what we embrace here, as we have not pulled out a gas. For the time being, I'm leaning towards a DT opener. As Lings spot in, no shot Lings. They do slip into the mineral lines here at the natural base. Probes being forced away. We do lose so much mining time, even threading that pylon. Adepts forced to turn back around. Arc forced to turn around, and we do get one probe kill so far. Not bad. We get a singular worker. We do keep the Adepts busy, and likewise, there's the Dark Shrine. We would have seen Glaives being researched by now. If it was Glaive Adepts, we would have seen probes being pulled away from the gases as well, if it was to be something like Glaives. Instead, DT opener into an Archon drone. And Fjant, for the most part, is aware. Fjant, he didn't see the tech.
Are under attack.
Oh, calm down. Fjant didn't see the tech specifically, but he could piece it together, especially because of the lack of gateways and because of the lack of researching. So we should be seeing spores momentarily. For now, Fjant is settling in, droning up. Again, we've reached the 4-minute mark. In a couple of seconds, we should be seeing a defensive Roach Warren at around the 4:30 mark. So now we're keeping up with the Adepts. Dark Shrine halfway done. Prism is going to be moving out across the map. And it isn't purely about the DT damage. If the Dark Templar don't deal too many, or if they don't get too many worker kills, we can always back off and morph them into Archons for some Archon drop harass instead. Meanwhile, Lings are being active. We do delay the third. That's a kill on the probe. Prism moves out, ready for those warp ins. Meanwhile, back at home, we have spores. We have a spore at the third, we have a spore at the natural, and a spore in the main. Fjant is ready. There's that Roach Warren being thrown down. We don't have Roaches to defend yet, but Lings and Queens are all we need for now. And likewise, Geralt has yet to take a third. It is quite heavily delayed. Will now expand. At the same time, DTs waddle in. Oop, they get a tumor. They go for the queen. And the queen is getting low. Up, can we get it? The queen is so low, alas, will barely survive. We're collapsing on the prism. No creep connecting the bases, so we do outposition the Zerg player, but we do pull the boys. We save the spore, and we hold. Fjant doesn't lose anything. Lost a tumor, and that is it. Very nice defense here from Fjant. Meanwhile, Gerald's back at home, working on the transition, getting to a very fast bait. Now, there's a bit of a give and take here. This is all very tech heavy. Archons, of course, soon to morph in to harass across the map. But we're very low on gateways, just 3 gateways to work with. We're taking up into a Forge, into a Bay, into Immortals and Disruptors. Eventually we'll get there, but we are quite vulnerable here. And again, we do see Fjant recovering and settling in quite nicely here into his economy. We are droning up. Queens are in position. Likewise, though, the Archons are dropped. They're going for the Queens. First Queen is going to go down. Nice pick up. We catch a Queen. 3 drones. Not a bad start, and the Prism will get away. Does take some... Oh, no! Does take some extra hits. But the Prism will escape. Oh, my God. Never mind. It's zoned away. And the Archons, they're trapped. They cannot be lifted. The Prism... Oh, saves one. No, not even. We try to save an Archon. The Prism goes down. So does the other Archon. And with that, Fjant has held quite nicely. He has defended. 4th base getting up and running. Fjant droning up to 3 base saturation. And we're getting ready for a move out. Now, what is terrifying here is that these Archons, they were designed to kill Overlords, to get drone damage, more importantly than all of that, to keep Fjant busy, to keep him busy back at home. Without the Prism, there's nothing holding him back. There's nothing keeping him back at home. We can just drone up and settle into our army and then move out across the map. Gerald, he's in a bit of trouble. The early game has not gone his way. We're looking to expand, take a 4th. We're settling into our 3-base setup. Disruptor production has begun. There's a lot of potential in disruptors. That's the plus side here. Geralt may be down in supply, but 1 or 2 good Novas and we can make up for that. As Novas, they one-shot almost everything in the Zerg arsenal, especially here in the mid-game. They shut down Roaches and Hydras quite nicely. Speaking of, Fjant, instead of going for a big committed push, we're getting a 4th, we're droning, and we're taking up into Hydras. So it's going to be Roach Hydra here from Fjant. This can lead into Lurker tech. The Lunkers could be on the horizon. We're not quite there yet, but for now we're just focusing on our army. Knocking down the rocks. Geralt is walling up. Geralt, he's just trying to fortify himself, trying to catch up, getting into Disruptors, cutting some corners here and there. Getting a 4th. Just now getting into our Gateway Explosion. Meanwhile, Stalker shots take down a Queen. Not bad. Nice control there out of Geralt. The Disruptor has arrived. We go for the Nova. Oh my God. Only 1 Roach gets caught. Very chaotic split, but Fjant does avoid the damage. Does avoid the Nova for the most part. Second Nova goes up. Oh my, the splits, papi. Better connection. 3 Hydras go down, but we're pushing. The Novas are all on cooldown. They're not ready, not yet. Overcharge is popped. We do focus down. Oh, some of the Stalkers. Another Nova. Good connection here. 4 Roaches go down. We try to focus on Disruptors. The Overcharge putting in a lot of work. And Fjant, he's overextended. Fabi, you have to respect the shield battery, respect the Overcharge. Roaches are being completely shut down. And Geralt, he's holding. He doesn't just hold, he retains every single Disruptor. At the same time, Fjant still rallying across the map. Is still rallying in, but alas, it does feel like we have overextended. And Geralt will shut this down. At the same time, Fjant going to be harassing the 4th base. There's DTs. No detection. And this army is going to be cleaned up. This is an expensive loss for Fjant. Roaches, Hydras, that's a lot of gas. Oof. Looking at the trades here, at the same time, we still keep pushing. Fjant, calm down. That was 26 Roaches and 9 Hydras for what? For 1 Zealot, 5 Stalkers. Like, the trade here was so heavily in favor of Geralt. Fjant has the back off, and now we're taking. This tech is late. It's going to be Infestation Pit, that's going to be for Hive Tech and Lurkers. So now Fjant, as he backs off, he's forced to tech up into Lurker Tech. He could have already been working towards this, but he was so committed earlier and it wasn't worth it in the end. So it's a bit of back and forth. The early game was in favor of Fjant, the mid game in favor of Geralt. And now where will things lie? Where will things fall? Roach counterattack, catching Disruptors, not bad. Oh! We do attempt to splits. Alas, we do get 1 Disruptor in the end. Not bad. 1 Disruptor goes down. Going for a second. A little bit ambitious. We won't quite get it. Meanwhile, there's that Lurker Den that we spoke about. Lurker Den's on the way. Hive should be on the horizon as well. Fjant joining up to full base saturation. Yeah, there's that Hive in production. +1 range. Oh, we had no upgrades to work with. That's how committed we were. So we're quite heavily behind here as in upgrades, as Gerald is working on +2. +2 will finish when we have 0-0. It's a brutal moment for Fjant. At the same time, trying to catch out the army. Nova goes off. Oh, takes down the Ravager. And a good amount of Lings. And so many Lings go down. We can see Fjant trying to collapse on this army. Alas, is not able to. Gonna be pulling back. Shots going up. Storm not quite done. Fjant is going to start a step back. At the same time, Zealot counterattack hits the mineral line. Drones are falling. Fjant out of position. We're going to get 4 drone kills and the Queen. Very nice counterattack. No detection either. There is a DT in the mix. Getting extra damage done, and Fjant has to race back home. Does have to race back, and now Gerald, he's in a good position. He's able to stabilize on 4 bases, taking a 5th, and now he has the freedom to take up into Sky Toss. Sure, Fjant may be working towards Hydra Lurker Viper, which is a good composition against Ground Toss, but we only have Ground Toss for so long. We're taking to the skies, we're getting into Sky Toss here from the side of Gerald, and Fjant is 1 step behind. Vipers are on the way, upgrades are getting into the swing of things here. Fjant is trying to stabilize, trying to catch up. There is a chance, of course, he could try to pull his opponent apart. We could try to attack some of these fringe bases and deny some of them. Deny some Nexus. For now, Gerald is keeping up. Fjant diving in for the scout. Very important here for Fjant to confirm that there is Tempest production. And the Overseer should be able to pull that off.
Our base is under attack.
If we get into the main. That's the thing. If we get into the main base, across the map we have DTs in the natural, DTs in the main, distracting Fjant more than anything. Not really getting too much damage done, but just keeping Fjant busy. Lurkers are setting up. Fjant did not go into the main, but does have a second Overseer. Does get past the cannons, busting into the main base, getting eyes on hopefully the Sky Toss. There we go. Tempests are revealed. They reveal themselves to the Overseer. And immediately a Spire. Immediately Spire Tech is on the way. It's going to be for the Corruptors, for Sky Zerg. Fjant is getting in position. I mean, Fjant is maxed out, and he doesn't have the ideal army yet, but we have to make use of this somehow, some way, so we're pushing. Fjant is pushing right down mid. Gerald amassing his army. Gerald, he has Storm and Disruptors and feedbacks. Vipers barely survive. We do rotate around, hitting the center base. Nexus will fall. Oh my god, at the same time, Nova's going to be going up. They connect. 3 Lurkers go down. Massive connections. We did take down the Nexus, but there was no mining, there was no saturation. The base didn't matter too much here for Gerald as he double expanded. He lost 1, but he has another. So bottom left is going to get up and running. You see Geralt rotating around. So is Fjant. Looking for a way in. The Viper. Oh my god. We'll survive. Spire is almost done for the Corruptor production. We're getting there. But Geralt has momentum. He's moving out. Oh, the feedbacks on the Vipers. Massive storms as well. No abductions, no yoinks. Massive connections with the Disruptors. Ay, ay, ay. The spellcasters of Geralt popping off. At the same time, Fjant does go for a massive Lurker counterattack. Mineral line is exposed. But when it comes to the main army, though, Geralt is pushing through. Base does fall. 11 probes as well. Not bad. We don't quite have detections, so the DTs are unable to clean up those Lurkers. A very nice counterattack here from Fjant. Again, he may not be able to hold a candle to the main army, but he is harassing these fringe bases. He's knocking down Nexus. Fjant finding damage where he can. And there we go, 11 Corruptors on the way. We're going to have an answer to those Tempests. Not the best answer. The scary thing here is that these Corruptors are 0-0. 0 upgrades here for the Sky Zerg army. But it's better than nothing. There's once again. Oof. Don't just take down the Lurker, they take down Hydras as well. Gerald, he's pushing forward. As I mentioned before, in a head-on fight, Fjant can't engage. He cannot engage, not head-on, not right now. Hatchery falls. Stalker counterattack. Fjant's making a line of Lurkers. He's getting ready. He's getting ready, he's pushing forward, Nova goes up. Nice connection here on the Hydras. Very nice connection. And we have additional carriers on the way. As Geralt bleeds out Stalkers and bleeds out Gateway units, we replace them with more Skytoss. As Geralt rotates around. Fjant trying to keep up. Novas, they do connect. Storms as well. We're trying to get on top of the army. Oh, but the Novas are insane. We get one Tempest. And we do target down as many Disruptors as we can. Another carrier going down. Ooh, just barely. Not a bad engage here out of Gerald. It was very chaotic, but at the same time, DTs, they hit the Southern Hatchery. It's going to go down. Fjant stuck on 4 bases. Denied the 5th time and time again. And Gerald, he's on 6. He's on 6 Nexus. Oh boy. A Protoss player up 2 bases compared to the Zerg is a terrifying thing. It's a terrifying thought. It's the reality here in this game. We have a wall of cannons, wall of shield batteries. Even though Geralt wasn't able to kill Fjant and able to break through the main army, he had map control, and with that, there's no creep. There's no creep spread, there's no map presence, no map control, no bases. Fjant is being starved out, or he's being choked out, essentially, by Geralt. Fjant just trying to keep up here. Still stuck with mainly Hydras. We do have some Corruptor upgrades coming into the mix, but again, the Spire was delayed because the scouting was a little bit late. So the Corruptors are still less than ideal. Going for bottom right. Ambitious here. We do snipe a carrier. We try to. Second Yoin comes in. Carrier goes down. But at the same time, we lose another base. And this was still worth of a Geralt. As I believe that was a kill. Yeah, that was a kill, not a cancel on the hatchery. And this, we do have a Geralt reinforcing. Getting into more carriers. Fjant desperately trying to expand. He's running out of money. You can see here the 3rd is empty. The natural running out of resources as well. Zealot run right towards the natural base for the economy. Fjant not quite ready for this. Not quite in position. Zealots, they get into the natural. They get into the main base. And the main army rotates over towards the fresh mining bases of Fjant. Zerg player here just getting pulled apart. Now, we do have a Nidus Worm, and we may just go for a Hail Mary Nidus into the main. But even then, in a base trade scenario, I do favor Geralt, as that's a kill on the hatchery. Ay, ay, ay. But yeah, even the 4th, we have 4 mineral patches left. We're running out of resources. And there's no onus here, there's no pressure for Geralt to push in. Like, he doesn't have to push into the 4th or the 3rd or the natural. The win condition for Geralt is deny the 5th. Oh, that's another kill! But that's all we need to do, just deny the 5th base over and over again. Just make sure we cannot expand. No need for Geralt to take a risk. And now we're throwing down a wall of pylons. We take the expansion in the face of Fjant. No fear. Ay, ay, ay. Geralt taking one of the Zerg's bases. I mean, there's nothing that Fjant can do. Oh, big spine shots though. Lurker shots are pretty good. We snipe a Tempest, not bad. Yeah, Fjant, he collapses in. The Nova's going up. Nova is cancelled. Clutch yoink there. Oh, but the storms! Massive storms on the Hydras. And Fjant, he takes the storms to the face. We do at least deny the base. The Nexus is cancelled. We do bleed out a big portion of the army. Again, that was two Corruptors going down, 3 Lurkers for 1 Tempest. Still an efficient trade for the Protoss. 1 Tempest and for 1 Disruptor. Fjant, this move is pretty desperate. Like, a bit of a desperation move out here. It's all or nothing for Fjant. And we can't push up the ramp. The Novas are insane. The Storms as well. The choke point is brutal. And Gerald, he will dominate this fight. GG gets called. That's all we had left. And Gerald will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. A very strong start for Gerald. But that was a bit of a roller coaster ride of emotions. Remember, Fjant had a very good start. He shut down the opener, he delayed the third, he shut down the DTs and the Archon drop as well. It was a very strong start for the Zerg if you weren't here for it. But if you remember, that led into a very committed push with Roach Hydra. Like, Fjant, he doubled down on 3 bases. Fjant, he doubled down on 3 bases and he pushed out with Roach Hydra. He was so committed, and if you remember, Geralt had raced into disruptor production and he had 3 disruptors, and Fjant, he dove in hoping to kill at least 1 disruptor. He killed nothing. He lost a massive wave of Roach Hydra. He was committed. He was basically all in because Fjant had no upgrades behind it. He didn't have any Evo chamber, no upgrades whatsoever. And after that hold from Geralt, he took a massive lead. He had momentum in the series. He was ahead and he maintained that lead as well. Fjant just wasn't able to recover from that. He was perpetually 1 step behind. And especially on a map like Ghost River, it's so unforgiving. The reasoning for this is because of how small the map is. I don't know if you noticed, but it didn't take long at all to defend and then move out across the map from the side of Geralt, right? He was able to just really assert himself and just deny any kind of breathing room for Fjant. And with that, Geralt takes the lead, but now we're getting into game number 2. As a reminder, it's a best of 3 series. And I'm catching up in the chat. I sold my soul to tech jobs. It's all good. It's all good. As long as you're doing well, as long as you're enjoying what you're doing, it's all good. But good to see you again. Good to see you again. So we are settling into game 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Site Delta, we have our Polish Protoss player, the Red Protoss representing Psystorm Gaming. It is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Swedish Zerg player, the yellow Zerg representing Team Brody. It is Fjant. Here we go. This push, yeah, I was about to say which push. What are we talking about? Oh, the Roach Hydra. Okay. That's the push that we were referring to. How Fjant moved out and was basically all in on 3 bases. And the move out that Geralt did hold against. And as we're settling in, a big shout out to Miss Your Sad Sack. Oh my god, Papi. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. Quack, Papi, quack. Senor Sad Sack. I hope the sack went well and there wasn't too much sad. Hope it was a happy sack today. As we are settling in, for those that are curious, this is our second broadcast of the day. We just wrapped up with WTL, with World Team League, and now we are here with the CommJumity League, the group stage. Day number 1, we just wrapped up with Baby Marine versus Uthermal, and now we are mid-series with Geralt versus Fjant. We are mid-series, just wrapped up with game 1, and now we're settling into game number 2. And welcome everyone, welcome. Quack. Hold on, do I have a... There we go. We have a shout out in the chat. Grabs her cane tightly as she sits on the recliner, reminiscing. We're all old now. True. Smoge. I remember when Beyond winning GSL finals without a team. I remember. That still feels early to me. Like that feels recent. I think remember Beyond popping off? Like, yeah, that was like a couple of years ago. That was almost 10 years ago. It's crazy. That was like 2016. Doesn't feel that long ago, but yeah, we're all old, Sparky. True. Feels bad, man. Feels old, man. But we are settling in. Overlord is shut down. Bit of a supply block here for Fjant. Meanwhile, Gerald's going for a very unique opener. It's going to not be a Stargate, nor the Twilight Council. It is a Robo opener out of Gerald. Lings coming in for a scout, will confirm. They get eyes on the Robo, and they get eyes on the Twilight Council. Nice scout here from Fjant. But I'm curious how this all comes together here. Robo Opener is going to be for a faster Prism to harass across the map. This looks like... actually, I was going to say this looks like a DT Opener, but I'm still on the fence. This could even be Fast Charge. Actually, this is reminding me of... There's a creator build where you go Robo into Twilight Council into Templar Archives. It leads into a Templar Archives into Archon production. I'm curious if that's the case here. We'll see how Gerald does bring this all together. As the Prism is moving out, and back at home, Fjant is droning. Droning up, saturating up to 3 bases, or up to 2 bases for now, getting his 3rd, keeping up with the Adepts. And we'll see what Gerald has in store. Yep, there it is. It is Archons. Okay. So, we saw this quite a bit from Creator last year. It is Robo into Twilight Council into a Templar Archives. This leads into a later Archon drop timing, but it is a really nice way to harass across the map, to get into Archons early on, and this leads into Charge. Into Immortals, into a very kind of robust Chargeal Archon composition. As the Adepts have arrived, they go for the drones! Oh my god, quick reactions here out of Fjant. Doesn't lose anything in the main base. At the same time, the Prism does take hits. We zone the Prism away. Meanwhile, Roach here towards the natural. Also, my apologies. I assumed that this was going to be for Archons, and it may still be for Archons, but we're rushing into a very fast Storm. Insanely fast Storm here from Gerald. Ay. Okay, you have my attention. Storm is on the way. Likewise, Fjant being active with our Lings. Getting eyes on the 3rd, delaying the 3rd base. Not bad. At the same time, Adepts are harassing across the map, getting into mineral lines. We do get 2 workers, 3 drones already. 3 drones go down, and we save the Adepts. Slick moves here from Gerald, but across the map, the 3rd base is denied. We're stuck on 2 bases. But Gerald, he has a lot of tech to work with. We have 4 gateways, we have Immortal production. I was going to say this looks like a 2-base all-in, but the Forge tells a different story. The Forge tells us that we intend to invest into upgrades, which does take time to get into. So I'm a little bit torn. Yeah, we're expanding. Taking the 3rd. Lings, they arrive once again. They get us around on the Zealots at least. And they will get 1, but just the 1. 1 Zealot goes down. More Lings have been invested into. Going for another surround. Catching the Adepts. Oh, can we get them? Not quite. We get the Zealot, but the Adept does wedge itself in between the minerals and the pylon. Yeah, the Adept will still fall. We shut them all down, and can we force a cancel on the base? It's gonna be close. Nah, we have Archons. We have Archons to defend. The pylon goes down, but the base will survive. Meanwhile, across the map, going for some Adept harass. Queens are in position. Roaches have arrived. Fjant is holding on. But still just a very chaotic setup here. Going for the Spire. Oh my god. Okay. Back. Going for the Spire. Meanwhile, shout out to Slow Iran in the chat. Oh my god. Well, Slow Iran. Slow Iran. Just tipped $13.36. Barely not late. Barely not. It was time instead of subbing. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Do appreciate the support. Gracias, papi. Gracias. Again, has been a long time viewer of the channel. We do appreciate it. Thanks to the support in the chat, we're able to cast as often as we do. Able to fund our events as well, as the Prism is zoned away. Now, the Spire has been unscouted. So far, it's in the dark. So far, Geralt is in the dark, unawares as to what's going on, building up towards his death ball of an army. That's already 4 Immortals. That's a hefty Immortal count here for Geralt. High Templar are amassing with Storm. Archons are building up as well. We're getting ready for a move out with +1 in charge. It's going to be a very strong timing here with these 2 upgrades. Now, before the upgrades kick in, the mutas are coming. They're coming back. The Mutas, they will arrive. 7 mutas moving out. Oh, now on the horizon. In production. And with these mutas, we can harass the mineral lines, we can threaten the main, threaten the natural, we can threaten the 3rd base as well. But even though mutas, they do amazingly harassing, what about the main push? What about the main army? Mutas, they do struggle to defend. They struggle defensively, I should say. Thankfully, we do have Roaches. We have invested quite heavily. Roaches, Queens, Transfuse. Is this enough, though? Against 4 Immortals. Oh, boy. I'm not so sure. Gerald does push forward, encounters the main army. Mutas are moving out across the map. Storm does connect with the roaches. Bearing in mind, roaches, they can tank storms. The other does zone away the army. Big Zealot Orb in the storm. Ooh, much juicier here. Massive connection on the army. The storms are too much. And roaches, they can tank a storm, but that was 4 storms consecutively. And we do see Gerald breaking through at the same time. Mutas, they get across the map. They harass the mineral line. Probes are falling. And we are just amassing as many roaches as we can. We still have another storm in the chamber. We're just trying to hold the line. Archons are going down. We're running out of steam, running out of army. We still have 4 immortals, but where's the buffer? Where is the support for the Protoss? The Prism is being targeted, but alas, it will barely survive. Boys are being pulled. And Mutas are still wreaking havoc across the map. They get 22 probe kills, 23 probes. But alas, it's just too much. GG gets called. The main Protoss army cannot be stopped, and Geralt will take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Again, even though Fjant was getting so much economic damage done, that was resources, minerals, and gas invested in Mutas, not in defensive structures, not in additional roaches or ravagers. There was 0 ravagers to work with, only Roach Queen. And against 4 immortals, we saw Geralt just have his way with the army. GG, well played. GG, well played. Geralt will take the series 2-0, will advance on into the winner's match, and we will be following Geralt into that match. One moment here as I message the players.